Sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com. The Wolves are underrated once again after the cat trade. Zone coverage. It finally happened. After years of speculation that Karl-Anthony Towns would force his way out of Minnesota, the Minnesota Timberwolves finally forced Cat out of Minnesota by trading him to the New York Knicks last week for Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, Keita Bates-Diop, and future, protected draft capital from the Detroit Pistons. It's difficult to process for die-hard Wolves fans who have seen Towns grow from a teenager from New Jersey into a man ingrained in the Minnesota community. Towns is the second best player in Timberwolves history, with Anthony Edwards quickly nipping at his heels. Fans, pundits, executives, and players across the league were always going to scrutinize any trade involving the four-time All-Star. It's an interesting dichotomy. Many Wolves fans are distraught that the trade is taking away one of their favorite players and all-time one of us guys in Minnesota sports history before he could do what he promised and take the Timberwolves all the way. And the national media and players who have spent the last 9 years calling Cat soft, weird, and unable to lead a winning team. It takes a bizarre blockbuster trade for these two distinct groups to agree on anything, but Towns has always been a divisive star player. With a week to dissect this trade from all sides and finally see the players for the first time in their new uniforms, the Wolves fans may agree that the Knicks won the trade. Still, we vastly underrate this new-look Timberwolves team. ESPN released its annual NBA preseason NBA team win total projections for the 2024-25 season earlier this week. The Wolves won 56 games last season, finished third in the West, and made the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years. Still, the worldwide leader projects the Timberwolves to win 42.7 games this season and finish 8th in the loaded Western Conference. ESPN bases its projections on Kevin Peltons SCHOENE model, which has never been reliable. However, a 13-win drop from last season in the wake of the Cat trade is criminally underrating one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Towns was the best player in the trade and is heading to a Knicks team with championship aspirations. He's a four-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA third-team selection, and second to Kevin Garnett in most of the franchise's statistical categories. The Ringer ranked Cat as the 32nd best player in the NBA postseason and 20th in ESPN's preseason player rankings ahead of last season. His career averages of 22.9 points and 10.8 rebounds per game on 39.8% from 3 are Hall of Fame level raw numbers that will have Knicks fans tuned into 1.5 Wolves games over the last 9 years dreaming of Patrick Ewing and Willis Reed. I'm not here to argue that Towns isn't a great player and won't be missed by the franchise he helped lead to its first playoff series win since 2004. However, I think the basketball world treats Julius Randle like a role player.